to the Empowered Money Girl, where we break down the barriers to financial confidence, celebrate women's wins, and reveal the secrets to live boldly and well. I'm your host, Josette Mandela. Today's guest, Maura Mitchell. She's a Booth MBA, lawyer, advisor, speaker, and the founder of From Awakening to Action, where she helps quietly brilliant women build aligned, sustainable businesses by blending strategy with soul. Maura is known for guiding ambitious, resilient women through seasons of grief, reinvention, and caregiving, helping them find clarity and path forward that fits who they are now. So let me ask you, are you feeling stuck, even though you know you're meant for more? Maura is here to show us how to move from awakening to action without losing ourselves along the way. If you're ready for real talk, practical wisdom, and a fresh perspective on what's possible, you'll love this episode. Please welcome the insightful, compassionate, and empowering Maura Mitchell.
Oh, thank you so much. That was a great introduction. I'm so excited to be here.
So, Maura, can you take us back to the beginning? What was your path to where you are today?
So, truthfully, my path has not been linear. I've reinvented myself many times. I have always, though, had a strange pull towards what gives me joy. So, whether it be in law, entrepreneurship, or community work. So I started as a math major and a computer science minor. So I was a coder for a while. Loved that. I loved solving people's problems with technology. And then I thought, I'm missing the business side of things. So I went to get my MBA. And then I started helping small businesses in the community doing their business plans. So I kept doing that. And then got my MBA in finance and later on got my law degree. So I'm kind of, on a journey towards what gives me joy. And what really cracked me open and led to an awakening was the losing my husband 2 years ago. So that loss really made me think, who am I really? And that question has really led to what I am now, and that is like you said, an open-hearted advisor who helps people who are going through reinvention or loss.
Well, I am so sorry to hear about your husband, but it sounds like a wild journey that you've been on. And I was looking at your LinkedIn content, it's both deeply personal and strategic. So, how are you balancing that vulnerability and leadership when you're working in such a public space?
Yes, so it did change me. The awakening I really had was that life is short. We've got to do what we can every day. And I did ask myself after losing my husband, can I still lead? Because I do have a team here. And the answer was yes, but I'm going to do it differently now. I do it more honestly, more open-heartedly. Um, and I realize I now lead from my heart and I have become more of a servant leader. I ask my team what they need and I deliver.
Wow, that sounds so refreshing. So many leaders, and I hope more leaders start doing that, because when I was coming up through the ranks in corporate, that was not the norm. That
Yeah.
And it was rare to find someone that worked like that. Most of them were like, "This is what we're going to do here. This is how it works, and you don't like it, it's my way or the highway," kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that is so wonderful to hear that your work goes that way. So, what role does the spirituality and inner stillness play in your decision making?
Yeah, so now I'm really focused on slow mornings. When I get up, I meditate. And during that time is when I figure out what I'm going to write for LinkedIn. So it's led to more creativity, um, and stillness. And I think that really helps my soul. It soothes my soul. So then I approach my team and my leadership abilities from that essence. And I just believe it starts with love, and from there you can do so much. And now I feel that I have an energy, how I don't know if we say karma, but I feel like I have an energy that attracts people that love also. Have so many advising appointments with women that are starting their own businesses, and it feels like we're connected. So it's like an energy that starts in my early morning.
That that sounds lovely.
Thank
I
you.
I'd I'd love to say all of my days are that way, but like most of us, there's things that come up during the day, and trying to keep it all together. Some days are better than others.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I haven't fit my exercise in there. I wasn't a really good good at exercising and good at cardio. And I since I've had my slower mornings, I do less exercise. So I'm trying to fit that in. I haven't quite figured it out. I'm still exercising. I'm just not exercising as much as I would like to.
Well, the exercise thing, it's kind of good news, bad news, is that they say, those experts, they say that if you just add like 10 minutes across your day at various points, that having those 30 minutes, it doesn't have to be all at the same time. You could do
Oh,
little
yeah.
things, 10-minute increments, wherever
Yeah.
it kind of fits in your schedule, and you'll get the same benefit as a longer workout. So don't
That's good. That's good to know.
so
I'll
yeah, don't put so much stress on
don't
yourself that I
yeah.
have to have a, dedicated 30 minutes or an hour, or, whatever your routine in the past, let's call it, used to be. That
Yes.
really just 10 concentrated minutes can be what you need to really keep things moving forward in that direction that you want to go.
Oh, that's good. That's my walk to the train, 10 minutes there and 10 minutes back.
Huh? There you go.
So, yeah.
So now you've got 20 minutes in. Now you
Yeah,
just
I'm
need to
gonna
find
get
another
10
10 minutes somewhere.
more.
So, how would you define financial independence? And do you feel like you've achieved it yet, or you still seeing things that you'd like to do better, differently?
You know, my husband and I planned financially, so I am because of life insurance, I am set. Not, it's not going to be that I have tons and tons of money, but so I still have to budget, but luckily we planned ahead. I wish this wasn't so, but to me, financial independence really means freedom of choice. So now I've been doing a lot of solo travel after my husband's death, and I can afford it. I usually, when I solo travel, I don't eat as much as I do if I'm with my family or with friends. So I save money there, and I don't really care where I stay. So I'm not in any luxurious hotel. But to be able to walk away, to rest, to say, yes to solo travel, that is all financial independence to me. It's about, yeah, giving me the freedom to do what I want.
I like that definition, giving you the freedom to do what you want,
Yeah.
and having a job you love.
Yes,
That just
exactly.
adds to the joy.
It does.
So, what kind of relationship would you say you have with money today, and how has that evolved over the years?
Oh my goodness, that's a good question. So when my husband was alive, he lost his job quite a few times. It was due to recession or him just not getting along with his boss. And so there was tension in our relationship about money. So money became a big issue. at certain times of my life. Um, but now, because of my focus on joy and less so on goods, I kind of see it just as a tool, like I said, to find me more joy. I am blessed and that I can take, go solo traveling. Um, but I'm not so focused on money, I guess. I'm more focused on joy. And so it's become less of an issue.
That's definitely an interesting way of looking at it, that you see money as a tool and not something I have to amass. That
Yes.
as long as I'm getting the joy from the amount of money that I'm earning and I can do the things that I want to do, my life is joyful. And
Yes.
um I mean yeah, I really think that's enlightened, because there are so many people in the world that everything is money, 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 and
Yes.
they don't stop to smell the roses and
Exactly.
take the time to have that solo vacation.
Yeah. And I find that most of the entrepreneurs that come in to talk to me think that they need money, they need funding. And usually we take a step back and it's really rather something emotional they need. They need fulfillment, they need confidence. Um, you do need money to start a business, but you can, bootstrap your own business and start it in a slower way. So money becomes less of an issue.
Yeah, agreed. That yeah, that is an interesting way of looking at it. So in terms of the money that you have, do you actually invest in things outside of your business?
Yes. So I do actively, well, I don't know if you call me actively invested. I do have a financial advisor and I meet with him once every quarter. But besides that, I have a stash of money that I play with kind of, and I invest in stocks. I've invested in my house, in real estate. My family my larger family has a manufacturing business and I'm investing in that. Um, I would love to get involved in angel investing, but I haven't yet pursued that. But I do have, yeah, many different avenues in which I invest. In fact, today I was looking at Apple stock because I do have a chunk of money on Apple stock and I bought a little bit more as the prices were going down today.
Well, that's really cool, and that is definitely a sounds like a pretty well-rounded um, investment portfolio that you have.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
the things are kind of, some are correlated, some aren't. So you have cushions in a lot of different ways. So you're a lot less likely to see those hiccups in, well, at least major hiccups in your financials as you're going along.
yeah, I did get kind of gut punched though the last time I met with my financial advisor because the market had just dropped that, I don't know, what was it, like 6 weeks ago? I don't know when it dropped 20%. Now it's up a little more, but up almost back. But yeah, it was kind of hard to see.
Yeah, and again, that's one of those things that you kind of need to be looking at the long-term picture and not. I know it's hard
Exactly.
when you, like
Yes.
you say, when you see those big swings like that, but um, when you have a partner like your financial advisor that you trust to help you with making these decisions, it's it's always good to remind yourself why you did what you did,
Yeah.
and not immediately panic and start pulling the money out when, like you see, 6 weeks later, that money is pretty much back to where it was. So
Yeah.
by just accepting that sometimes some of these things are going to have some risk, um, but that's also one of those things that you have to kind of feel into when you're investing
Yeah.
is what is my risk profile? Because if you're not going to be able to sleep at night because there was that 20% dip, then that's really not the investment for you.
Right. Right, right, right. So true.
So, what advice would you have for women who are looking to start building some financial independence, especially if they've relied on their partner for their stability with their finances?
Oh, I've had a couple friends and my mom that know nothing about their financial situation, which made me nervous. And I said, okay, you've got to start now. Let's start where you are and learn what you don't know. Sit down with your partner and get a list of accounts, get a list of passwords. Luckily, my husband and I had shared all of that, although I didn't get the password to his cell phone, so I lost that. It was his death was sudden, so we didn't have time to prepare. We didn't prepare everything, but um, I think it is taking little bits of time to learn what you do have, first of all, and then start taking your own, start planning for yourself and have a little account set aside for you, even if it's saving $100, $50 a month, $100 a month. The key is consistency. So put aside a little bit into your own account for a rainy day or for worst case scenario like I suffered. So um yeah, and make sure your partner knows that you need to know because you never know what could happen the next day.
Yeah, and I mean, that is so true. Like you said, I've always said to my husband that, look, here's a list of all the passwords because for most of our relationship, I've been the one that kind of took care of the accounts and knew where
Mhm.
everything was. And I'm like, look, here's a list of where all the passwords are. Here's where I keep all the account information. And because if I go to work and get hit by a bus,
Ah,
you need to be able to, pick up the ball and run with it.
yeah,
We both, like you said, we both work together on things and decide which things are we going to invest in. And I have a little money that's set aside. He has some stuff that he does separately, but we also know what each other's doing,
yeah,
and it makes it so much better that both of us know, so that if something happens to one of us, the other one could, um, essentially pick up the pieces and move on, um, without there being a lot of drama of trying to figure out, okay, how do I get into this account? Oh, wait a minute. What is the account? Do we have this kind of
yes,
account? So,
exactly. I can't imagine if I didn't know what I would have done, now if I didn't know our account information and passwords. But now I'm thinking about it, you're reminding me now that I am single, my kids should know what my account numbers are and passwords. So I got to get going on that.
or at least have it in a place where
Yeah.
they know where to find it.
Yes. Yes.
So that should, like you say, should something happen to you, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you die. I mean, what happens if you get really sick and you're not able
Mm,
to take care of yourself for some reason? And
yes. Exactly.
they need to be able to help with that sort of stuff so that you don't lose the investments you have, and they can pay the bills that need to be paid. So
Yeah.
those are certainly questions and things that people do need to look at and think
Yeah.
about.
And I think because now this week I'm going out, my mom just fell. And she's the one who paid the bills and she pays with checks. So I'm gonna go up there and make sure they can, I can set them up for automatic bill payment.
Hmm.
Just so she doesn't have to write checks because she's on pain medicine. So I would hate to see her add an extra zero.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to go up and help her.
So I'm thinking from your last answer that you do believe that women should always have some money of their own that they can do what they want with, if you will.
Yeah, not because you're going to plan on leaving your husband, but just so
Yeah.
you don't have to get permission. I think always having to ask for permission in a relationship would not be good. I think it would lead to more issues. My husband and I always had separate accounts. We could access one another's account, but I had my money in my account and he had his in his. And we shared. I mean, we still had fights over money, but I could go to my account whenever. There was never a discussion about what I could spend on. Now, if I spent too much, he would say something, or if he spent too much, I could see it. But I did have freedom to do what I want, do as much as I could within our budget.
Hmm. So in terms of um, your identity and personal power outside your job or relationship, how um, did you do anything different for like friends and family versus how your nuclear family and your business work, or was it more joined?
Um, it is more joined. I talked about my slow morning. I guess it is just returning to my core every day and making sure I honor myself and that I take time for running and music and meditation and writing. Uh, who I am right here is what people see at my job and what people see at home. This has probably changed it has changed over my lifetime. I mean, in my 20s, I followed the rules and was more corporate. I worked for a corporation. So I think I wasn't myself, but now both my identity and personal power, what you see is what you get, I guess.
And that's great. Um, because to me, yeah, I mean, I'm with you. When I was in my 20s, 30s, 40s, working that corporate ladder,
Yeah.
the people that saw me in that corporate world probably wouldn't really recognize me in my personal life.
Yeah.
And like you say, that gets tiring and old in a hurry.
Mhm. Yeah. I think there is a big push to be authentic these days. So, what that for me, it means, doing everything from the heart.
Mhm. So, what's next for you?
Oh, that's a good question. So, I don't really believe in I don't believe in that I have a purpose here. I kind of believe that every day I am, again, the word joy comes up, following my joy. Um, so right now I love what I'm doing, helping women start up and scale their businesses here at the WBDC. But um, I'm also starting to help women. I just did a webinar for Afghani women that are in their homes doing tech work from remote offices because they're in danger outside of their offices, outside of their homes. And I loved that. So maybe I take this internationally. I'd love to travel. I'd love to see the world. But I think I'll always be working towards empowering women and giving them a voice. So that still drives me forward. I am still dealing with our family home. So that's something I have to deal with and get through before I make my next plan. And I don't know where I want to live. So that's up in the air. So I have a few things up in the air, but I know that I, I've always believe I am where I'm meant to be. And so I think I'll be led in the right direction.
Wow, that sounds amazing. And I like that I'm always where I'm meant to be.
Yeah, I think I had to believe that, otherwise, I'd be too sad. So I think I think our situations of loss, and most people have had a loss or of reinvention or just an uphill battle sometimes during our life, really is when we learn the most. And I think you have to believe you were given this to teach you something.
No, absolutely. I definitely believe that. Um, I I wouldn't have wished that post-divorce bankruptcy on anyone,
Oh,
but
yes. Yeah.
that was how I decided that I needed to start helping women learn about basic
Uh-huh.
financial skills.
Yes.
So, because I grew up in that era when a man was a plan, right? And,
Yes.
uh, and
Me
then
too.
and then I discovered not only wasn't he was worse with money than I was, and but we're not here to discuss that today.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother can of worms.
Yeah.
Um, but I love that concept of that you did that webinar for the Afghani women, and now you're kind of thinking about opening up more of a global reach. That
Yeah.
that sounds really cool.
Yeah. On Friday, I'm going to a session with women from Uzbekistan. Yeah. So we'll see.
Cool. So if you had one message to give to women that are listening today about owning their own financial independence, what would it be?
I would take one step. If you don't know what your financial situation is, take one step and say, I have to sit down with my partner. I think we sometimes wait too long. We want to find confidence, but really taking the steps will lead to the confidence that you need to learn more and to be financially independent and to learn more about money and investing and assets. Uh, so I think it is just take one step, be willing to learn, and just, yeah, take one step and start your move towards financial independence.
That is such great advice. Take one step. And I want to thank everyone for coming today. And a huge thank you to Maura Mitchell for sharing her wisdom and energy with us. Now, if you found value in this conversation, please subscribe, leave a review, and share the Empowered Money Girl with your friends. The more we spread these stories, the more women we can empower to live boldly, both financially and every part of life. Until next time, keep thriving. And remember, your journey to empowerment starts with you.